Hello, you're listening to Environmental Soup through the facilities of Trent Radio. All on YouTube. And today I will be talking about Bill 98, which is called I'm just getting the title, an act to enact the Fair Alignment and Seamless Transit Act and to amend various acts. And I'll be talking about how the changes are not good for the municipalities or the environment. I will switch my screens. There are a lot of items related to Bill 98 in the Environmental Registry. There is a guide to the items on the Environmental Registry called Guide to the Environmental Registry of Ontario for Bill 98. And this is from TAF, which is an organization that is related to the environment. And it's by Laura McCloskey. There was 4 items. There was item number 1, which is 026-0300, consultation on all aspects of Bill 98. And there's a link. And comments are due on May 14th, which, if you're listening through the facilities of Trent Radio, will be tomorrow because I broadcast this on Wednesday. I'm just checking the calendar. Yeah, I believe it's tomorrow. Yes, it's on. And I will do my best to post this before. So that's the first one, and then you can look that up on the Environmental Registry. And then that's general comments. And then there's 026-0309, and it's a proposal to prohibit green development standards. And they're suggesting feedback on this should be that municipalities must retain authority to implement green development standards and not other lot standards that support climate resilience and livable communities. There's 026-0310 site control reform. It should be site control as critical tool for sustainable and climate resilient developments. And then there's 026-0313, comprehensive list of studies for complete applications. And this is talking about completing, maintaining authority for municipalities to require studies that impact local emissions and impact climate risk. And I'll look at each of the proposals. The first one, Proposed Planning Act, City of Toronto Act 2006, Building Code Act 1992, and Municipal Act 2001 changes Schedules 1, 2, and 7 of Bill 98, the Building, Homes, and Improving Transportation Infrastructure Act 2026. That was the act that I showed previously. And there's a lot of those changes, those standardizations of official plans, which are problematic because they eliminate the unique aspects of a community. Each municipality faces different challenges, different opportunities. Let's see. So now there's a rigid example of an official plan, and they're only allowed to have certain schedules. And they don't seem to have a section just on the environment until the schedules. So that's concerning. But one of the main concerns is that they are removing requirements to have climate change in official plans. And this is problematic because climate has impacted municipalities' infrastructure. And if the municipalities, according to a Senate report is that's not responding. According to the Senate report, Building Climate Resilience Across Canada's Critical Transportation Infrastructure, there's about 60% of infrastructure is controlled by a municipal government. And if you're not making them resilient to climate change, then it's going to cost the municipality more money down the road and potentially in the near future in terms of repair cost. So that's problematic. And they're getting rid of requirements to have sustainable elements in zoning. They're getting rid of they're not allowing green building construction standards, and there's no enhanced development standards. And then those other things, and then let's see, there's the second one. They're going to prohibit mandatory enhanced development standards as a condition of land division approvals. They're going to prohibit sustainability conditions. And then those costs related to training municipal staff. I did. They're going to remove site plan control. Site plan control is important for municipalities and in regards to the environmental protection, because each site is unique due to the geography or the surrounding development, surrounding landscape, the hydrology, surrounding land uses. And there's this one, streamlining the information and material that planning authorities can require as part of a complete application. And they're saying that only certain studies are required, but not all of the studies. They may require as a complete application. So there's not even a requirement. So environmental impact statement, environmental site assessment, functional service report, geotechnical report, hydrological report, planning justification report, and transportation impact study. And then those other studies: aeronautical report, aggregate minerals, petroleum resource impact assessment, agricultural impact assessment, air quality order study, Orbis report, archaeological assessment, contaminant management plan, cultural heritage impact assessment, economic viability assessment, electromagnetic field management plan, financial impact analysis, human-made hazards, impact study assessment, impact assessment for waste disposal sites, formal landfill sites, land use compatibility site, lake shore capacity assessment, minimum distance separation formula assessment, natural hazard impact study assessment, noise vibration study, road safety and risk mitigation report, servicing options report, wildland fire assessment, and wind study. And then anything, so those are a lot more limited, and that they can't just be asked for. And then any other study not listed wouldn't be they wouldn't be able to do a study if it's not listed. So those questions that is being asked, and yeah, changes from Bill 98 is related to climate change. They don't have to require electric vehicle parking. Electric vehicles are becoming more prevalent, especially because of the conflict between the US and Iran. The price of oil is going up, so people are likely to turn to electric vehicles, but they might not if there's no parking available for them. And it's going to be more expensive to install electric vehicle parking after a building's already constructed. Green standards, it's the same situation. It's more expensive to do retrofit after the fact. And if you don't have goals around greenhouse gas emissions reductions or adaptation in an official plan, then it's difficult to meet climate objectives that the provincial government has set, or meet international obligations. And international obligations would fall under the federal government instead of provincial government. But the province does have a huge role to play in reducing emissions. And then there's a lot of money involved. Oh, and then there's the Planning Act. There's the official plan, changes to the official plan. And let's see. I think I made highlights on other things. Oh, I know what I did. Okay. I highlighted sections that were changed. Some of them, but I don't think I have the time to go in depth because I'm at about 19 minutes. So, Environmental Defense has an article, Bill 98 ignores efficient housing and could deprive municipalities of key tools. And they say that Ontario must remove many barriers from the planning. And they say that there should be more multiplex, midwise, and they should remove boundary expansions and a bunch of other things that the province should be doing. And Environmental Defense has been advocating for this for years now. And they're saying that Bill 98 has failed to take these actions and made things worse. They say that it would kill Toronto's green standard, limit official plans to 12 options, strip municipalities of site control to promote sustainable options. And then, they wouldn't allow electric vehicles. And they can't use chapter and section headings that address challenges or opportunities to procure opportunities related to those circumstances. And another thing to consider is that municipalities will not be able to set their own fares, including capping fares or subsidizing fares for youth, which increases ridership through an entire life. So if a kid uses transit, they're more likely to use transit later in life. There's an article from the Norwell newspaper called "Ontario Cities Are Preparing Buildings for Climate Crisis. The Ford government is set to make that more expensive." There's an example of a homeowner from Kingston, Ontario, lowering their emissions by 91% by replacing windows, installing heat pumps, and insulating the attic, basement, and exterior walls. And that's tied to an incentive that would not be allowed. And then 4,000 developments have met the city's green standards, which have been in place since 2010. And they're saying that the rules mandate that each building has shared outdoors. Each building has shared outdoor spaces that aren't covered by concrete or asphalt, but permeable coverings that absorb stormwater to prevent flooding, among other eco-friendly features. So that means that flooding will be a greater risk, because if you have non-permeable items like pavement, water won't have anywhere to go. But if you have a permeable solution, then water can go into the ground and it will slow water down. A lot of flooding is caused by urbanization and the destruction of wetlands. And it's saying, it also says that municipalities won't be able to take action to require board-friendly windows, so more boards might die. And then they mention electric vehicles. And then some municipalities promote green roofs, renewable energy systems, and green spaces. And then it's saying that the building code hasn't been updated since 2017. And then there's no mention of eco-friendly features. And 24% of Ontario's emissions come from buildings. And the province is imposing fossil gas onto municipalities. Let's see where I am. So we'll go to the next article. There's articles from the National Observer. Ford takes another run at stripping municipal green building rules. And a spokesperson from Toronto said the Toronto Green Standard, quote, continues to be one of the most impactful actions the city can take to reduce emissions from buildings, end quote, which makes up 58% of emissions in Toronto. And then there's an article, Ford's latest bill collides with cities' efforts to phase out gas in buildings. And that's in the National Observer as well. And the Canadian Green Building Council pointed out that there was Terrian's 2024 customer survey, and they pointed out that energy efficiency of the home is ranked 92% in considerations on whether or not someone might purchase a home, and energy efficiency appliances is also ranked at 91%. So people do care about energy efficiency in buying homes. So these changes might backfire on the housing industry, make less people want to buy homes. And let's see. And I looked at who supported the legislation. So Conservatives and NDP, and opposed is Liberals, Green, and Independent. That's the report. And then there's, I'm running out of time, there's the climate reports from the Canadian Senate, and then the climate resilience of federal assets and services, and I'll get into those in a different episode. And I thank you for listening to my podcast over the summer, and I hope that you listen to the next one. I will look into some of the other details of Bill 98, and if I have time, I will make additional videos and post them on my YouTube channel, Environmental Soup, so that you can make informed comments. Thank you for your time, and enjoy the rest of your day.